course I've captained him. Why wouldn't I?
Elite FPL!
Confident about being Jim White, aren't you?
I'll go on then.
Slow sports news.
Say vote. Elite FPL.
And the Gold Award. Elite FPL.
You absolute
Your team has an AI score for the next
Oh
4
yeah,
game weeks.
let's go, man, let's go.
Yeah, Steve-O, he's a bit mean, but he means well. And I'm not going to rise to the occasion. He can bash my team as much as he wants, but I don't care. It just makes me stronger. Makes me more keen to stay above him on the tables. And I guarantee, the end of this weekend, you're going to be looking up to me, Steve-O, thinking, what am I going to have to do? What I'm going to have to do to catch him. See that, dude?
Cheers. Cheers, Jason. Thank you so much. There was our co-host, Jason, there, bragging.
Types of streams where they are covering all that lot. Oh yes.
dreams of glory, points to chase, many leagues, it's the ultimate race, captains rise, some fall from grace, oh, the game we play, it's a ruthless space. Only the elite will win through the chaos, through the spin, break the template, take within. Only the elite will win. Only the elite will win. Steve-O's fight tenacious, Jason's moves audacious. In our community, no sheep on display. Tactics whispered, strategies said. The managers plot like kings and queens. Green arrow shining, red one sting. The table shifts,
Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome on a Monday night at the end of Game Week 3. We've got some people in the chat, Steve-O. We've got some regular faces in the chat. We've got FPL Nightmare in the chat. I was actually watching one of his latest videos talking about his Game Week 3 and how his season's gone so far. I think he was second bottom. I don't know if he's still second bottom of his mini league, Steve-O, but we'll... massive shout out to FPL Nightmare there, who's having a bit of a nightmare, but I'm sure he'll turn it around. Hello to Kevy, David, PK7, Screaming for Vengeance, Ricky Kiley. We got Chucky. We've got the Pool Hustler here too. We've got Tour Media, Alex Sweet, Malted88, Ozil, and many, many more. FPL Sparta, hello to you as well. It's great to see regular names, and shout out to Ramsey Sinclair, who has become an Elite FPL Let's Go member on YouTube. Don't forget to link your account on Discord to get all full privileges within the Discord. Steve-O, you've been uploading a lot of shorts lately, haven't you, onto the YouTube channel? It's been quite entertaining. And he actually called me out and told me off for calling him out on his -12, as if it wasn't public information. I'm sure you'll get down to that in a moment, but there has been a development in the team of Steve-O and Ray, a co-pilot team, which for those of you who don't know, Steve-O, is no more. Am I right in saying that you and Ray are no more, or is this just a ploy to get us off your case?
Well, good evening, everybody. No, genuinely, I don't think Ray wants anything to do with my FPL team anymore. I haven't heard from him for 3 days. I don't know what's going on. I think he feels betrayed. I think after a few days he'll calm down, a bit like with the Arsenal result. I think he'll just realise, hold on a minute here, why do I want to stop talking to a friend over a poxy game? Which I agree with. And I spoke about on Patreon this morning about the fact that going on to the video that you've just produced, legitimately that video kind of inspired me to do the -12, because what you're doing this season is proving that when you have fun and don't give a fuck, you actually do well. You are a testament to that. I don't care what you think about your overall rank at the moment. You're doing exceptionally. What are you, 300-400k, aren't you? So you're doing really, really well. Really well. You stuck your middle finger up to the template, and you're doing what you want to do. And when I watched that video that you sent me privately, legitimately, it nearly brought a tear to my eye just now, because it just, for me, I want to just bring back the fun to this bloody channel, to be completely frank with you. I just want to talk with a friend, you, and talk about fantasy football, talk about a mini league that we take seriously, or more specifically take a rivalry that we take seriously, actually enjoy the game rather than having to stick maliciously to whatever the word is, to plans, which is nothing wrong with plans. But when I looked at the team, I was just thinking, I don't want a wild card, because I think the wild card, in fact, ironically, I was planning the wild card literally as I was waiting for you, but the wild card would be more handy further down the line. Whereas now, I thought of you back in the day, and I thought Jason had the bollocks to do these these points.
Well, -12, -16s, yeah. Days going by, but okay, so it's really good to get your sort of thought process and your mindset here, because you've historically been a very, very conservative manager, and methodical with your approach to FPL. Obviously, you said the video kind of reminded you on the good old days, as lots of people like to think about, where maverick moves were rewarded. -12s, -16s were not something that was uncommon, but certainly even back then you weren't like that, Steve-O. You were very much head on your shoulders with your notes, the history a big part of your decision making, and almost fixtures over form for you. But I just want to kind of I first of all, Ray, if you do watch this, please don't take it the wrong way. I think Steve-O has broke the template in his head, and I think that
I don't think I broke the template. I've just brought in players or more specifically, I brought in a player in Chris Wood that I thought, and along with many others, thought that Nottingham Forest would do well against West Ham, and they thought that Chris Wood would get at least a goal. People captured it. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be just amazing if come Monday or come Sunday evening, I can say to Ray and anybody watching this, I can go, I did a -12. This is why I didn't want you to release it publicly, because I wanted people to be like, fucking hell, Steve did a -12 to bring in not just specifically Chris Wood, but he brought in Chris Wood and he got 2 goals. That's amazing. Like, it completely backfired.
Little suggestion. Next time you do something like that, please just wing me a WhatsApp message saying, Jason, you may see something I've done. Don't mention it. I'll cover it next time on stream. Literally, I saw the game update and I was like, Steve-O's on a -12. What the F is going on here? And, I just want to say again, I mean, I did find it a little bit strange that you and Ray had gone into this sort of like co-pilot relationship anyway, because I thought like over a season, it would be very difficult to try and keep 2 people happy over a team. And it was always going to like come to a clash. But I don't know what the situation was. I'm just saying from my point of view, it would be very difficult to kind of get someone to help me manage my FPL team because I'm so different in a lot of ways and not what other people think.
For everybody that isn't a Patreon member, I went through some basic maths and this is simply it. I've missed out on 7 points. So if I had literally done nothing with my team, literally left it as it was, I'd be 7 points worse off, but my team value would be 0.4 down. So I'd only have exactly 100 million in the bank. If I'd have just stuck to the -4, I'd be 3 points worse off, better off. If we'd have just stuck to the -4, but I'd be 0.1 team value down. It's going to go down again tonight, so I'd be 0.4 down. And instead, I got 42 points. There are people that genuinely I've beaten in the content creator league. Not that it really matters, but I've got more points
it does matter.
Large content creators. I've got a team now which I like. And to put it into even more absolutely ludicrous,
I'll bring your team up actually. One second.
The players that I got rid of, Jace. Unless have you seen my X post about it? Have you seen it at all?
No, mate, I haven't seen your X post about it. No.
So, how many points did the 5 players that I got rid of? How many points did they accumulate between the 5 of them? Take a random guess.
The players you got rid of are like the likes of Palmer,
Saka,
injured, Saka. So I don't know, 4 points.
They got 0.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
you like to think that the 5 players I get in would get a minimum of 10 points between them for appearance points. So I'm down by 2. That didn't even happen, Jace. I had Van de Ven that got 1 point, Johnson that got 1 point, Salah 3, Mark Gui, who would never have played anyway, but just beside the point, 1 point, and Chris Wood 2. If you'd have said that before the start of the game week, people would have looked at you and gone, "You're speaking shit, mate," because there's no way not.
The chances of that happening are very low. With all of those players coming in, favourite picks for the game week, really.
But this is the point. If the -12 was technically relying on Chris Wood, which it was, and he'd have come through with what people thought he would have done, I'd be sitting here on the same points as you and probably the average score. I'd be on, rather than 42 points, I'd be on, say, 48, maybe 50.
Yeah.
But obviously, we can't talk hindsight here. What's happened. But when you break it down into the most simplistic form, if I'd have never taken that -12, I'd only be up by 7 points, Jace. But my team would be shit, and I'd have the wild card. I'd have to.
Well, you did, right? So yeah. So you've basically gained. You've essentially lost -4. It says on Live FPL.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So is that you came out and you said I got away with my -12, and I think in a way you have, because you haven't had people punish you that you got out of your team, and you've not had differential picks punish you that you don't own on a week that you spent for 12 points. So you have kind of got away with it with maybe 4 points, whatever. So the again, it goes down to this whole thing about people turn their nose up at people that play the Wildcard. No, sorry, not play the Wildcard. Do a -8, -12, and they call them noobs, casuals, whatever you might think, because they're not hitting their Wildcard bet and they're doing a -12. There is a lot of examples where taking hits pays off, but it's a risk. It is a risk. And it's almost like a toss of the coin of how it's going to pay off, because you are relying on the players you're bringing in to outscore not only the points, but, you know, it's many factors into it as well. You mentioned price rises. You mentioned setting your team up. This is not just for this week, is it? This is for weeks going forward. So it's not like a free hit where you're doing it for 1 week. You're doing it to set yourself up. So absolutely, the benefits of the -12 are yet to still be completely realised anyway, aren't they, really?
I really wanted. I said to Ray, I think a week ago, after we'd done the -4, because we'd already done the -4 to bring in Salah for Palmer. But once I found out that Strand Larsen isn't going to play, that Pirro wasn't going to start. I mean, I didn't even imagine in a million years he wouldn't even come off the bench. I mean, it's just absurd, the fact that all 5 of them didn't play. 8 Nuri, the fact that he started and got 0 points is just beyond a joke, but whatever. And I thought, I had 8 Nuri, Wirtz, Saka, Palmer, Strand Larsen, Pirro. That's 6 players in my team that I didn't want. 6 of the 15. That's a lot. And I said to Ray, I don't think we should take a -4. I think we should just go with a wild card. And I had a front line of Haaland, Wood, and Pedro. I had Salah in my team, and I had the likes of Kudos. I had Semenyo. It was a toss up between Semenyo and someone else. I keep forgetting for the life of me who it was. So let's just say Semenyo. No. I have 0 interest. But the point being is that the team was great on paper from a wild card point of view.
Yeah.
And like I state, that wild card now comes really handy, because as I stated, I was planning it as we're going. If
I could quickly come in there where you're talking, I don't feel like I know what a wild card optimal team is right now, because the fixtures aren't very good for a lot of teams, and we haven't got enough data yet to give us reliable, choices on our wild card. We're going with like the punts, not the punts, but we're going with the popular picks. But like, I don't think that the players have all settled down enough at the start of the season to actually formulate a wild card that will take you 8-12 game weeks into the future. And I think that lots of people are eyeing a game week 8, aren't they? Game week 12 as game weeks to wild card, and certainly free hit. Do you free hit game week 8? Do you wild card game week 8? Again, people have got different strategies. I know Ben Krellin's mentioned something like that on X the other day.
I think that you've just answered a problem full stop by mentioning, okay, Ben Krellin's the greatest ever FPL player.
The spreadsheet.
Yeah, but we can all have access to. We just have to do our basic research. But instead, everybody, like we all know, cheat and decide to do the easy way out, which is, someone else has done it for me. I'll just get their information. But whatever. It's down to individuals when they feel they need to wildcard. And for me and Ray had always said game week 7/8 is when we think for our own personal team, that's when the fixtures change. Some people, their own personal, like you mentioned, is game week 13 when the likes of Arsenal, Man City, or more specifically, Man City and Liverpool's fixtures change for the better.
Well, the thing is, I even considered, after the weekend of seeing Dorgu benched, Sesko benched, I was actually thinking to myself, I need to start getting these players out of my team. Get Wirtz out of my team, get Sesko out of my team, get Dorgu out of my team. I was thinking, do I even consider the wildcard button now? Because I'm going to -8 territory, -12 maybe territory. I'm thinking, you know what? My team isn't that bad. It's not that bad, Steve. I was going over my team and I was looking at it for next week, which is obviously in a couple of weeks because obviously stupid international break. But the team in itself isn't bad, and I think I've just done the one transfer, which I'll happily tell you, you're never going to guess it. It's going to which player do you think I've got rid of? Wirtz, Sesko, Dorgu.
If I'm in your shoes, it's probably Sesko out for João Pedro.
I've already got João Pedro, mate.
Yeah, you're right. So
think Crystal Palace.
Oh, Mark Gwynn.
Mateta.
Oh, right. Oh.
Yeah, so I got him in prior to him scoring, last night. But certainly.
Oh, so you brought him in before he scored, right? Okay.
Yes, mate. Yes, I did. Yeah, I brought him in prior to him scoring, prior to the Palace game even playing. My thoughts were, do I look at doing, a -4, maybe get out one of Wirtz or Dorgu, obviously, and then maybe look at getting Ekitike, but obviously then there's worry about Isaac. Now Isaac's in the picture. I think that spending on a -4 on getting Dorgu out probably isn't a very good idea. To be honest with you, when it comes to defenders, when I've got Rodon in my team who looks very solid, to be honest, and Leeds, to be fair, I have to give them credit. They look pretty damn solid. Well, yes, but they seem pretty organised. So the point I'm making is I don't think it's worth doing a -4 involving a defender, and I certainly don't want to be taking Wirtz out prior to Burnley. I think that's madness. I don't need to worry about Ekitike because I've got Gakpo and Salah and Wirtz, and there's no guarantee that Ekitike is now going to be not rotated. I mean,
he'll start versus Burnley.
He'll start, but there's no guarantee he's going to get 90 minutes. I don't know if he's going to get 90 minutes. But again, we will have to wait and see. This is the whole thing about, setting up a wild card right now. We don't even know, how players are going to bed in to their teams. We haven't seen enough of Gyökeres. We've not seen enough of Ekitike really to see how he's going to fit into that Liverpool team over the course of the season. Obviously now with Isaac coming into the picture, but certainly even me getting on Sesko was way too early. He might still come good. There may be a point in the season where people look at him as a serious option, but it's way too early, and certainly my punt on him failed. And again, I would like to have more information come to a wild card. So just going to look through here at the chat. Wirtz out for Semenyo. No. Me and Ray drop possibly the last. Oh yeah, the song. Yeah. Give the stream a like, people. Says Colm in the chat. We've got FPL have a beer in the chat. Hello, buddy. How's it going? We've got your Nightmare was saying something a minute ago. The template isn't the players; it's the commonly accepted thought processes. You take a chance and people lose their minds. Yeah. The real template in FPL isn't the players; it's the commonly accepted thought processes. You take a chance and people are really quick to jump on your back and proper berate you for making decisions that isn't part of the crowd. And it's I find it really pathetic that people can get so dismissive and passive aggressive over eventualities that they have got no control over. Thank you very much for the kind words, Yusuf, in the chat. FPL Sparta. Reyes sabotage your team, says RBS R5. No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I think Steve-O's a grown man and he can make his own decisions. We got lucky, took a -8, says Sheldon, and he landed with 55 points. Congratulations. 17 points on the bench for Ryan Roberts in the chat. Nightmare says I'm third in the league now because I'm behind Ash. And another from FPL Juice, of course. They've used chips though, Steve. They've used one of them's used 3 chips, I think.
Well, I was talking about Seamus on Dally Paul on the Patreon. That I had a couple of comments on Patreon saying about the fact they're having a crap season, blah 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 blah. And when you're talking about these players that are doing really well, you forget to factor in the chips they've used. Seamus has used 3 chips already: bench boost and free hit.
What do you think?
They've already used it.
What do you think about people that are just going gun ho on their chips? Is it because they've got the double chips?
Some people use chips like that every single season, but now they've got it double the amount, double the risk, double the reward.
Just want to get ahead quickly early on and try and maintain their lead, I suppose.
Look, fair play to them. But when you strategize and plan, it does slowly catch up with you. It does very slowly catch up with you. And that's why, for me, I wanted to repeat myself, but it was either do the wild card now, and like you correctly stated, I don't have enough information yet to jump onto the teams which could do well in the near future, or get on it later down the line when we've got 6 to 8 game weeks worth of information where you go, right, they're definitely the teams to target. Look at West Ham. People in the free hit this week, they trebled up on Nottingham Forest. What happens? They lose 3-0.
Yeah, who saw that coming? I'll be honest with you. No, I didn't see it coming, and certainly Bowen trolling all of these Salahs. There's a question coming in from Chucky in the chat, and I think this is an interesting question, and I'd love to know your thoughts and what the chat might think about this. But this is something which may be in people's minds. Anyone thought about wildcarding this week? Obviously, got the international break. 4 Liverpool players before they chase Isaac to Liverpool. You could own the likes of Salah, Ekitike, Gakpo, and Isaac in one side before the FPL change.
You could probably own 5 with Mark Guay. In theory.
I mean, are we getting to the realms of stupidity by doing that?
I don't know. Are we? Does the game allow it?
Yes.
If Mark Guay
yes,
goes
it does.
to Liverpool.
Yes, it does allow it.
Dread FPL's done that. He's got 4 Liverpool. Now Isaac's moved.
Well, yeah, but Isaac hasn't been changed, does he, to Liverpool? But certainly, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think, apparently the Gay transfers collapse, says Matteo in the chat. I don't know anything. Oh yeah, Lubu's saying the deal's off for Gay. He's not going through now.
I mean, the information's coming left, right, and centre. We'll find out more. But let's just,
to kind of go back to that question, what do you say about people that are doing a wildcard to try and optimise their Liverpool attack by having maybe 3 Liverpool attackers in, I don't know, Gakpo, Salah,
and Isaac,
and then maybe a defender in
Van
Dijk, for example? Do you think that is a strategy that you would get behind, or do you think that that's just a bit pie in the sky?
I don't think it's pie in the sky because it can be done. The rules are there to be taken advantage of, and all this rule disparity or whatever you want to call it.
Is it worth it then?
Is it worth it? Why not? They've got 2 decent fixtures. Don't get me wrong, Isaac won't play against Burnley. I don't think he starts. Slot's going to ease him into the squad. It'd be very harsh on Ekitike if Slot just goes, nah, you're not playing anymore. We're going to just play Isaac up front. What? But certainly when it comes to, like, say, the next big... I mean, let's have a look at Liverpool's fixtures. So they've got Burnley and Everton up next, haven't they? Which,
Can I just ask a question, Steve-O, before we do... I'll get the fixtures up, but certainly I want to ask a question because I've never done this before. I've never owned 4 players of the same team before in FPL. If you owned 4 Liverpool players and then the next week you wanted to do a transfer in your team...
Yeah, you have to get rid of the Liverpool player, yeah. You have to.
Right, okay. So you basically are locking your team in permanently then?
Yeah. So Liverpool's fixtures, as you'll bring up, are Burnley away, brilliant fixture. Everton at home, decent enough. Crystal Palace away, Chelsea away. So you're probably looking at to get rid of that 4th asset, let's just say for argument's sake, Van Dijk in game week 6. It can be done. So you'll have 4 for Liverpool versus Burnley and Everton, and then straight into Crystal Palace, get rid of Van Dijk. And then depending on how many transfers you save from game week 4, which could end up being 3, you could then go into game week 6 with 3 free transfers, correct your mistakes, and we're off to the races again. It's, I mean, I wouldn't do it myself, but again, if you can't really, but if you bring up Dread's already done it. Dread's already done it.
I'll bring up Dread's team. I'll bring up Dread's team.
In the moderator league.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain he's got.
Yeah, he's got Isaac. Yeah, he's got Isaac on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got Frimpong, Isaac, Wirtz, and Salah. Interesting.
And yet, ironically, Frimpong's injured, so he's not going to have 4 anyway. But then look, he's got Mark Guay as well. Now, if the move has fallen through, then it's fallen through. But if it hasn't, But the fact that Kanate looked like he went off injured, there is a small chance that Dredd,
Forgot he
in
got
theory, can have
15 points from Gray.
Yeah, I know, it's just a piss take, to be honest with
It's
you. Did you
unbelievable.
watch that game?
No, I didn't watch it. No.
Right, we'll get onto the fixtures in a minute. But certainly, people like Dredd going into the next few game weeks with double Spurs, triple up on Chelsea. He's got the 5 when actually officially it's 4 Liverpool. At the moment, he's just taking the piss and laughing. He's just laughing. But like I state, by game week 6, he's going to jump off the Liverpool train, jump onto whoever's got the decent fixtures.
The thing is, you do that, you really are hoping that you're not going to get injuries in your team.
Of course,
you really are hoping that you're not getting, disciplinary issues or injuries in your team, because but at that point, any week you're kind of locked in, and you're having to make the most of what your team is without having to make transfers. It's kind of it could easily backfire on you, to be honest. I don't know. I get the idea behind it. I'm not, and also I don't like the idea of putting all my eggs in one Liverpool basket. I mean, I know they're a great team and everything, but I think 3 Liverpool is fine. 4, you're kind of looking at then, like, if they have an off game, then that's like a third of your team just basically not doing anything. So I don't know. I see the idea behind it. I personally wouldn't do it myself. I know you wouldn't do it, Steve-O, but certainly good luck to Dredd and Chucky if they decide to do it. Isaac and Gray might not even play in Game Week 4. Very good point. Has Isaac even played a competitive minute yet? No, he hasn't, Martin. Isaac and Frimpong ain't going to start for a while, says Yar. This team here is Dreads, but certainly you don't have to go Frimpong. You could use Van Dijk. You could even, if you want, you could even go Gakpo in midfield, and have the likes of Isaac and Ekitike in the team as well. But certainly, it's not something I would look at doing. But we'll move forward and just discuss obviously the results, the game week, and certainly.
Well, there's certainly one game we're going to be talking about, isn't there? So we'll be diving into that very shortly. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea beating Fulham 2-0. Yes, Man United, Burnley. Okay, let's just cut straight to the point. You said on, I don't know if it was on the Patreon or whether it was on a short, but when you found out that Burnley defender had pulled down Ahmad in the box by his shirt, you punched the tug that you were driving at the steering wheel in anger. Because what did you say, Steve-O? Burnley always find a way of throwing it away at the end to the big teams.
Yeah, we do.
They capitulate, and it wasn't Manchester United's quality that did Burnley over. It was a moment of sheer stupidity, I guess, and carelessness, really, from who was it? Who was it? Anthony that pulled down Ahmad, wasn't it? So, I mean, the game itself. Scott Parker turned around and said that United were very good and he put on a good display. I mean, we passed the ball around a little bit more than Burnley, but I don't think we did anything that would. We were shooting over the bar majority of the game, Steve. I think we had I haven't got the stats in front of me, but I think majority of the shots were wide, like 15, 16 shots, and majority of them were off target. But the game itself, Burnley, did they deserve to come away with a point on that one?
From what I heard from the BHON podcast, the simple answer is, if we did get a draw, we would have got away with it. Apparently, in the first half, you absolutely destroyed us, and you should have been a minimum of 2-0 up by half-time. Minimum. I think that the Cunha injury probably derailed a lot of that, because, in my opinion, Cunha seems to have been the highlight of the transfer window for you guys. He's very, very lively. That news must be... Is there any news on how long Cunha's out for, Jay?
I'd imagine it would be you're looking at like 2 to 4 weeks. I'm looking at, I don't know. I don't think it's a proper hamstring or anything like that. I haven't actually seen any news. I'm waiting to hear.
Either way, that was probably one of those moments where our team looked at it and went, thank God he's come off. To be honest with you, I think it's more from a point of view that we took advantage of your guys' frailties. You know, there was a defensive collapse with the goalkeeper situation. Is that correct? With the first goal, from what I remember, I can't remember. I don't like watching highlights when we lose, but certainly we were taking advantage of the fact that for whatever reason, from crossing or long throws into the box, you can't cope. I don't know why, but whatever.
Well, I know
there
why.
Was an offside.
I know why. You got a jittery goalkeeper. The whole defense gets worried when you got a jittery goalkeeper. But yeah, carry on.
We had a goal ruled offside because of a tiny part of the T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
take,
I did. I thought that was really strange.
Okay.
I saw the VAR graphic that came up afterwards, and it genuinely looked like he was onside. Like I was watching Mark Goldbridge as well at the time, and even he was like, "That looks onside." And like even the graphic showed like the arm was at the low. His arm was like further back than the Burnley striker. And I was like, "Hang on a minute, what's going on here?" Was it Foster?
Foster, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, and then you see like a little bit of a T-shirt, and I'm like, "Hang on, you play the ball off that? Do you play the ball off your like that little bit of fabric on your T-shirt? Because I'm sure that's not part of your body." But anyway, I was just amazed. I was just amazed that that was given as offside. I mean, it benefited us, benefited United, of course, but certainly, I think there's been a few dubious decisions. I mean, the Chelsea-Fulham game was an absolute joke. I mean, PGMOL have since apologised to Fulham. Perfectly good goal by King, disallowed. Again,
these things don't
say
help
sorry, but you say sorry, but that's not free. That's not going to give you any points, is it? Not going to give you a point or 3 points. You never know how that game would have gone. You never know how it would have gone if that had been given. A goal makes so much of a difference to a team, and having it go against you from a morale point of view has such an impact as well on the mental side of the game. But going back to Man United Burnley, I don't think that United showed class in the game. I think they probably Burnley was more intent on countering Man United as a lot of the teams, lower half of the table will do. Andrew Barton, thank you for the subscribe. Certainly, I was impressed with the performance of Foster in that game. I thought he looked really on it. The one thing I would say is we got out of jail in that game, right? And I can't turn around and say that was a deserving 3 points. I think you could turn and say that maybe a point would have been a fair result for both. Like 2-2 would have been a fair result, but I think United did create more in the game in terms of shots. But then the penalty was just, again, it's a stupid penalty to give away. It really is. I mean, I don't know what was going through his head, because United weren't looking like they were going to score anyway, to be fair. But anyway, we won 3-2 at the 3 points that we needed to get, because our fixtures are really tough. So it's an important 3 points for us. But can I turn around and be like, I'm happy with that result? Yes, I'm happy with the result. But am I happy with the performance? No disrespect for Burnley, but we actually made Burnley look like they could play football and score goals. Something which Steve-O will attest to. Burnley aren't exactly the known team to score more than a goal, 2 goals. Hello to ZS99 as well for subscribe. Thank you.
Someone wrote on the comment saying about the fact that Steve always bangs about the fact that you can't score goals, but you scored 5 in the last 3 or whatever bollocks it was. And I'm thinking, have you actually seen the goals though? Have you actually seen them? And I'd look back at the Derby game. These goals have just literally just come from nothing. whatsoever. Yes, you could argue, well, the player's in the right place at the right time. Yeah, just it's a bit
It's a
like
good
we'll get onto it in a minute, but it's been like with Aston Villa. If Aston Villa
Oh.
actually had a proper striker, they would have scored a minimum of 1 goal yesterday. They've got all the creativity in the world. There's no one to put the ball in the back of the net. I don't get it.
Very quickly. Question him from coming in from Ozil in the chat. Will Burnley defend well against Liverpool? Obviously, United were able to put 3 against Burnley.
They're going to tear us to pieces. If it was at Liverpool, it would be a minimum of 4 goals.
Yeah,
minimum.
4 goals. I think we'll get onto predictions, but certainly not tonight because we're not. It's still 2 weeks away. But the likelihood is that Liverpool are going to have a good time against Burnley. Is the answer to that question? I don't think Burnley are gonna be able to hold out for a whole 90 minutes and shut out Liverpool. I'll be honest with you, they've just got too many options, and I know they struggled against Arsenal to penetrate, but that's Arsenal. You know what I mean? This is different kettle of fish.
Yeah, the thing is that you can tell the difference between the Championship level of fitness compared to the Premier League. It's like the equivalent of when you're at school and you're in year 7, 8, 9 or whatever, and then you play against the sixth formers. It's completely different. Or I've got a good reference. When we used to play 7-a-side and the top teams were always like the firefighters, and it's just the level of fitness and mentality that they had, which just destroys the amateurs that are on the pitch in front of them. And that's what it's like with Burnley. It's all well and good doing well in the Championship, which, to be honest with you, we did okay, and we escaped a lot with the fact that James Trafford saved a lot of our games. You go up to the Premier League, it is just a completely different kettle of fish. You saw it with Grimsby against you lot. For 70 minutes, they were in it. By the 71st minute, they were hanging out their arses, and you just took advantage of it with the quality that you brought off the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think ultimately we play bad with Bruno in the central midfield, but when we don't start him, we play worse. It's just picking holes at United's midfield, really. But I think ultimately Burnley can't turn around and say that they were disappointed in the performance. I think ultimately they went with a game plan. They did all right, and they just give away a late winner to United. But the result on the face of it wouldn't shock people. 3-2.
No, if you look at it on paper, you'd be like, wow, Burnley actually scored twice against United. How bad are United?
Yeah. But yeah, it just goes to show. You mentioned do not touch United with the barge pole. I think that is where we're at with the Man United in FPL this season. Like the last few seasons, just other than Bruno Fernandes, don't touch United. And as a former Sesko owner, I don't feel any remorse at the moment getting rid of him. Will he come back on a wild card? I think the only chance he's going to come back on the wild card is if he starts lighting up the Premier League, and he's going to have to start games to do that, Steve-O, and we'll have to wait and see on that. But certainly we move on to Bournemouth, who triumphed over Spurs away against Spurs. Evan Nilsson coming in with a goal, Senesi with the assist. Now, I was following this game because this was on at the same time as the Man United Burnley game, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
So I was following the events of this game, and I was like, I knew that Bournemouth had scored, and I was waiting to get my phone app to ping at any minute now that Spurs will get an equaliser and go on to win the game. I was pretty much like, yeah, any minute now it'll start pinging through, and then we get to the 70th minute. No. 80th minute. No. Okay. 90th minute. No. Okay. Still 1-0 to Bournemouth. What's going on? Like, people obviously like yourself getting in Van de Ven, people with Porro, people with Vicario, people with Johnson, people with Charlison, Kudus. These all players that are just like were popular because of the fixtures, and then all of a sudden Bournemouth, who they have not been bad. Don't get me wrong. Semenyu's been good. Evan Nilsson's shown moments, but certainly I know that Blonde is massively a fan of that Truffert guy as well. He was also again on the bonus points I see, but certainly Bournemouth doing one over on Spurs was not on my bingo card this weekend, and certainly to get nothing from your Spurs assets. So certainly if you own 3, you're going to be sick in your mouth, aren't you, for that game? You think, 3 Spurs, home to Bournemouth, you'd expect at least something.
You would. I mean, history suggested a high-scoring game. It ended being, as we know, 1-0. It's not the result that shocked me. It's more the fact there's just 1 goal in it. By all accounts, from what I read, Tottenham just weren't at the game, and Bournemouth took advantage of this and, like you stated, ended up winning 1-0. Evan Nilsson, a relatively... he was a popular pick at the start of the season, and people were just like, we don't want him anymore. I know Gary owns him, but other than that, I don't think he's as highly owned as what people think. It's just more grateful that Semenyo didn't come through with anything.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And then we talk about another game which kind of, if you were doing an accumulator this weekend, you basically just give your money to the bookies, right? I mean, I don't think anyone would have come through with these results in any shape or form. The Sunderland beating Brentford at home. I mean, that to be fair to them, I mean, Brentford are licking wounds. They have lost star player Mbeumo. Visser's apparently he's doing an Isaac. He's basically come out and said that Brentford have been blocking me, not letting me leave. He's put a post out. It was, oh my God, it was so... Again, this is the modern day footballer now, isn't it? Throwing your dummy at the pram, can't get the move you want. Just go on social media and talk shit about your club. But certainly, Sunderland beating Brentford 2-1. Goals from LFA, Essidor, who sounds like something out of Game of Thrones. You got Thiago goal for Brentford. None of these players, I'm going to be honest with you, none of these players are on my radar. Diarra, Xhaka, with the assists, Roof's penalty save. That's a good point, actually. Roof's with the penalty save. I forgot about that. Anyone from Sunderland, Brentford, anywhere near your thoughts?
No is the simple answer. Until their fixtures really do turn, which is a bit later down the line, they're a consideration, their defence, but no. Yeah, I'm not interested in Sunderland or Brentford.
Cool. Wolves then losing in a goal fest of a game, 2-3. I saw that Hwang had scored. I saw a clip on social media. A good goal. I was like, oh, great. Everton clean sheet broke. Maybe Dewsbury Hall won't be getting any points today. Then I guess I was wrong, Steve-O, because I saw some clips of Dewsbury Hall doing things that you were saying he was going to do game week 1, game week 2, and certainly coming through with a goal and an assist. Grealish as well coming through with 2 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to just turn around and say, told you?
No. Look, I've said this about Dewsbury Hall the whole time, is that very similar. In fact, Wirtz could learn a lot from Dewsbury Hall, which is go up the fucking pitch where you're supposed to be and create for your players. That's what Dewsbury Hall does. And I haven't seen the goals, but look, this is what you've just said. This is what Dewsbury Hall has been doing over the many years, especially for Leicester. And I think once he gets that running the team, he will do well. Like I said, Dewsbury Hall is not going to be getting points every single week, but for 5 million, whatever, just have him there for the sake of it.
He's an option that you've got on your team that he knows he's got points of, he can get points.
He's a guaranteed starter. But with
he enables other players, Grealish as well.
Grealish is the interesting one.
How much is Grealish?
6.5. It's just a shame that Everton's fixtures are poor. They've got West Ham at home, Crystal Palace, Man City, Tottenham. They don't really change for the good for a while. But if Grealish continues trying to prove to Man City, this is why you shouldn't have let me go. I'm the one that can create for the likes of Haaland, which they fucking needed yesterday. He could be doing this. He could be doing what a lot of these players do, which is sticking a middle finger up to the team that let him go and going, this is why I'm here. A bit like what Rashford did with whoever regarding last season. He was performing out of his skin. And I'm just wondering if Grealish is doing exactly the same, Jace.
Well, for Villa?
For Villa, yeah, Rashford did a very good job.
Yeah. I mean, someone I work with who's a Villa fan, he was gutted to see Rashford leave. He thought that he seemed another player under Villa. I mean, certainly he's now at Barcelona on loan, but certainly,
It's just mental when you think about it.
Yeah, kind of. But going back to this Wolves Everton game, Dewsbury Hall, he's got to be looking at getting a price rise or two surely over this international break now.
Look, there's plenty of players on my team I'm hoping to get a price rise out of, and he is genuinely one. It's like Goodmanson. How the fuck he is not on the radar of people? He's got a double-digit haul last week or whatever it was. 9 points this week.
He is on people's radars, mate. It's just that we don't want to be spending points to get him in, you know. But certainly, if I was on a wild card, Goodmanson's in my team, Rodon's in my team.
Yes.
Dewsbury Hall's in my team. Because I've seen the clips of him, not just from the Game Week 3, but also from Game Week 2 as well. We got close to getting something. We just had something come through, a subscriber. I don't know who it was, but yeah, that's good, isn't it? Don't know who it was because I didn't read it quick enough.
Keep subscribing.
But thank you for the subscribe. Your name came up on the screen, so hello and welcome. Keep liking, keep subscribing, help support the show. So yeah, you know what? I don't blame people wildcarding. I don't blame them. There are people out there that are just going to be feeling like they've got it all wrong and they're going to wildcard. I'm not going to judge them, but certainly, are you knee jerking into something which is going to end up backfiring on you because you've only given it 2 weeks, maybe, or 3 weeks, I should say. But certainly, there are people that have got issues with their team. Certainly, like yourself, you had Palmer, Saka,
half my team.
Well, yeah, some lighter injuries than you thought, but certainly ain't Nuri played. Obviously, we'll carry on through the fixtures. Leeds versus Newcastle. A new subscriber coming through here. Leeds versus Newcastle ended 0-0. Now, that came through for me, Steve-O, because I owned Rondon. And a transcended mother. Thank you for subscribing. Nonto getting the yellow card. Saves from Pope and Perry. No save points, but there's nothing to report in this game.
Yeah,
bonus points. Goodmanson 3, Rodon 1, Botman 2. That's it.
Yeah, I think the talking point is the fact that it ended 0-0.
Yeah.
You know, it ended 0-0. I'm assuming Newcastle were nullified by Leeds. The fact that he didn't start Barnes or Elanga, I don't know what on earth that was all about. That he didn't start.
Yeah, because Nightmare had Barnes in his team. And he was, I think he said on his video, like, Nightmare, if you're still there, you were pretty annoyed, weren't you? Because Harvey Barnes being benched, like, was kind of a bit of like, okay. Do you think that Howe was maybe a bit too, like, conservative in that game? He probably should have started Barnes and maybe gone more attacking, like maybe gave Leeds a bit more credit than what they deserved?
I think anybody that is facing a newly promoted team, I think is the opportunity to stamp your authority down and say, welcome to the Premier League. There's a scene in the OC. Do you remember the OC? Where Ryan, who's like the hard kid, he gets his arse handed to him and the bloke says, welcome to the real world. And that's what I think Premier League teams, established teams like Newcastle should definitely be doing against these promoted teams, because these are valuable 3 points. I know they missed out on 2. They got 1, but they need these 3 points to be getting up there for those Champions League spots. And that's an opportunity for you to take advantage of a promoted team and going, welcome to the Premier League. They didn't take advantage of it. It ended 0-0. Let's move on.
Thanks for the kind words, Chazza. Big up, guys. Glad to see you guys still going after all of these years. Yeah, how many years has it been, Steve-O? Too long. 7 years. Chazza there. Thanks for the kind words. It's great to see
6.5 technically.
People coming back. We've actually still got people in our chat that have been with us, since our first month of streaming. Like I think of the name like Nuclear Atoms. I think Firetog's basically been with us for the majority of those years as well. It's just incredible. Ramsey Sinclair, just a name that's just come back out of the blue. He must be having a good week. He must be having a good year, Steve-O. He must be doing okay because he's here. We haven't seen you, Ramsey. We're worried about you. We're worried. Scuffy misses a lot of theirs too, and lots of names that we keep seeing on a regular that just comment or come back to this chat. It's mad, absolutely mad. So we moved down to that Brighton versus Man City, of course. Manchester City. Yeah, I watched it. Haaland getting the goal. Marmoush with the assist. Very fortuitous goal, really. Marmoush nutmegging Lewis Dunk, and certainly Haaland reacting fast enough to just put it past the goalkeeper. But I thought Van Heck had a pretty poor game anyway in that game. But Brighton managed to score 2 goals. What is going on with Man City, Steve? Can you put your finger on it? I
can't. But certainly, there's been something going wrong for the past It's ever since Rodri got injured last season, but it just seems to be going. Was it last season he got injured? It seems to be going downhill since then. But certainly, definitely the last 2 seasons, there's something about them have lost their spark. And
since Kevin De Bruyne picked up that injury and Mahrez was sold, they've never looked the same. Because for me, Doku's a fraud. And he's just useless.
We go back to Jack Grealish, don't we? Trying to prove that why have Doku when you could have had me. Bernardo Silva, you mentioned him a couple of weeks ago regarding what is the point in him. I don't see what the point in him is. They were dreadful, Man City. I think we're very, very, very fortuitous that Haaland got us a goal in that game. Man City were bordering on anonymous. There were moments where they could have taken advantage of Brighton's poor defence. But well done to Brighton. I think that's now the 4th time in 7 that they haven't lost to Man City. It's a very, very good record. And they continue their very, very good home record. And I'm glad that they beat Man City.
I can say, though, I can and I will say that I thought James Trafford had a good game in that defeat.
Shame he's never going to play again.
Yeah. Obviously, Donnarumma now being signed. So they've got. So hang on, they've got Edison, Trafford, and Donnarumma.
Well, they're waiting on Edison to leave, I believe, but I think he's probably going, or he's already gone.
Well,
now,
he probably will be gone, but certainly, I don't know why they were quick to get rid of Edison. I don't think he had an awful season last season. I think Trafford joining is as a second. I mean, I'd be interested to think now what's going through Trafford's mind, whether he knew or not that City were going to be bringing in a number 1 when he joined. I would love to know if those discussions were had that he would be the second keeper, or whether he was given this, if he was sold this story that he would be number 1, because he wears the number 1 shirt. So
I think it's by pure circumstance that due to Edison's, fitness levels, a potential transfer move that he was put in goal to start with. And I think behind the scenes, they were desperately wanting to get a new goalkeeper. And this Donnarumma was apparently up for sale. And they've gone, let's bring him in. And then unfortunately for Trafford, Donnarumma is going to come in and Trafford's now going to be sitting on the bench playing in the Carabao, any cup competition apart from the Champions League and Premier League.
Okay, Nottingham Forest get thrashed at home to West Ham United. Something which, again, no Aka would have probably had on it. And Paqueta kissing the badge, Bowen trolling former owners. Even Callum Wilson coming up, reliving his former glory as an FPL asset. Certainly. Is this a flash in the pan from West Ham, a poor performance from Nottingham Forest, or is something maybe starting to happen at West Ham where it may be starting to gel and maybe create some upsets now?
It just seems to happen in football all the time, doesn't it? When people write a team off, all of a sudden they randomly come out with a result. Or as I always state, whenever a popular player doesn't do well in FPL the following game, whether it's in the cup competition or not, they do what you expected them to do the following week or the previous week. And look, we got to the 83rd minute, whatever it was 0-0. I mean, I was occasionally watching this match.
Yeah, because their goals were coming in like within a few minutes. And I was like, what's going on here? Why? I was thinking of have Nottingham Forest just fallen apart and like run out of gas in the last 10 minutes or the last 5
I'm
minutes of the
assuming
game?
that's what's happened again. I didn't watch the match, but what I did see of it, again, Nottingham Forest, very similar to Aston Villa, have got all these creative players on the planet. They just weren't, ironically, they weren't getting it into Chris Wood.
Subbed, of course, wasn't he? I think he was subbed in the 70th minute. A madness, absolutely mad. Again, on a week where people were bringing in Nottingham Forest players for the fixtures and certainly doubling up, maybe even tripling up. You know, on the free hit, but certainly even people generally I saw were bringing in. Well, you brought Wood in as part of a -4, a part of your -12. I mean, that's mad. I mean, again, people. When I say it's mad, it's just like the conviction that people had in Nottingham Forest was that they would spend points quite happily to bring them in. We moved on to Liverpool versus Arsenal. I watched this game and I have to say, it was probably, as everyone expected, a very close game. It was a very, very good defence against a very good attack, and certainly they did cancel each other out. If it wasn't for an absolute stunner of a free kick, the game would have most likely ended 0-0. There really was nothing from this game that came as a big shock. Salah didn't have a great game. But then he hasn't had many great games this season at all. So, I think you couldn't really take anything from this other than the fact that Liverpool got 3 points from a wonder goal. And these are the sort of games that win you the Premier League.
I think what it showed me is that Arsenal defensively are gonna win the clean sheet award. They were rock solid. In fact, I'd argue in the first half, I thought that Arsenal were the home team. They were actually on the front foot and Liverpool had to defend for their lives. And it's ironic that Liverpool, if they defended like that in the first two fixtures, they wouldn't have conceded as many goals. They were exposed occasionally, but to be honest with you, it was almost like both teams knew that both teams' players knew that they didn't want to lose. And the defensive displays that both teams put in were quite phenomenal, really. And certainly Arsenal, very, very, very unfortunate to lose that game. They didn't deserve to lose the game. Neither team deserved to win it. Like you correctly stated, a Szoboszlai wonder strike from out of
but he was on for playing manager. He was going to get man of the match anyway. He was playing right back, and he was just like he was pinging out crosses like no tomorrow. And I thought he had a solid game.
The biggest takeaway for me is more Wirtz, and Gary Neville made a point about the fact that Wirtz needs to be 10 yards further forward, and more specifically, get just behind Ekitike, Salah, Gakpo, get that link-up play with them three. That's the whole point in his role. It's no coincidence that when he actually pushed up further forward up the pitch, that's when he became more effective and more dangerous. It's no coincidence. Remember that half volley that he had when Ekitike put the ball in the back of the net? It was offside, but it all was created because Wirtz was in the right place at the right time to get a shot. We need more. That's the player that we assume.
Yeah, Wirtz is he needs to move forward more, and certainly be that central attacking midfielder that we wanted to see in Liverpool, and certainly got on. To be worth 8.5 million. Let's see that value.
On the BHOM podcast, they made a point about Foster, that the problem with him is that, a bit like with what Harry Kane used to do and Messi, is that they drop so deep to try and get the fucking team moving forward. That's what Wirtz is doing. He's dropping so deep to almost like say, this is what you're supposed to do with the fucking ball. Let's move. And it's like, but you need to be up there. You've got the likes of McAllister and Gravenberg doing that work for you. But I just think he just cuts such a frustrated figure because the players aren't doing what he wants them to do, which means, ironically, he drops so deep. Whereas once he does push forward, he looks, like I said, he looks like a top quality player. Unfortunately, in the 8 goals now that they've scored, he hasn't even got 1 assist, Jace. Not 1. He's got 2 more games from my standpoint in Burnley and Everton.
Yeah.
And that is it. He's gone full stop. I don't care if he got 2 hat-tricks in those games. He's gone. He's gone.
just talk price rises. We're looking at potential price rises for Semenyo, Gakpo, Ekitike, Senesi. Close to rising is also Sarr, Gehi, Califiore, Cash, who's starting to lose ownership now, actually. And,
what did he get you this
Vicario.
weekend? 0, wasn't it? If you bring your team up, you know, what was it? He got you 0 points. You couldn't make it up, could you?
So who did I take out, Steve-O? Someone who got 6 points. No. I took out Wan-Bissaka. No, I took out Wan-Bissaka. I took out Dorgu this week.
Did Wan-Bissaka play?
I think he did. Yeah, I'm sure he would have.
I don't think he did. I don't think he started.
Did he not?
No, I think he's out with them. I'm pretty certain of that. I could be completely wrong, Mum.
Can someone let me know? Let me know if Wan-Bissaka played, because okay. Anyway, yeah, 0 points for Matty Cash. It was great, wasn't it? Cursed him. Yeah, and then Aston Villa losing 3-0 to Crystal Palace. Gehi, Sarr, and Mateta getting the goals in that one.
I watched the second half.
Are they finished?
Honestly.
Are Villa finished?
Are Villa finished? No. No. They are a very, very good team. It's just they lost concentration. I mean, obviously conceding a penalty, anybody could bloody do that. But they lost concentration on the Mark Gray goal. No one picked him up, and he just, again, a wonder strike. He's never going to score that again. And then the Sarr goal just gets bundled through, and it was just a pure counter attack. No, was it a counter attack or a corner? I can't remember now. But either way, Aston Villa were all over Crystal Palace in the second half. I only watched the second half.
Wan-Bissaka was benched. All right, sorry, thank you. And he got 1 point. Great, cool.
Right.
We lost that 1 point.
And basically, if Aston Villa had a striker that wasn't called Ollie Watkins but was called Haaland or Wood or Gokares or Sesko, they'd have scored at least 1 goal. The amount of chances that they created. But Ollie Watkins, since he's lost that bloke who I had his name on the tip of my tongue, who's that guy that left for Saudi Arabia that was scoring goals for fun, that played for Aston Villa. And Ollie Watkins had actual real competition.
I can't remember.
He doesn't have anybody now. He has nobody.
Duran,
that's it.
Duran.
He has no competition whatsoever. And I'm not saying he's putting in a poor performance. He's not making any effort, but there's no one that Emre can bring on to replace Watkins to up his game. At least he had Rashford last season.
Yeah.
Now he's got nothing. And it's really, I don't know what the fuck is going on at Aston Villa at the moment. Not to score a single goal in the first 3 games.
That's bad.
Shocking.
That's bad.
Yeah.
You know,
considering the talent that they've got as well.
Yeah. It's
So yeah.
Marco Bistot.
What's that? Sorry, is that the goalkeeper?
You've not seen the video. You've not seen the video of Emery.
Oh, is that what was that all about?
Well, they're talking about the goalkeeper, and
Right.
Anyway, I don't know what it's about. I think he's just being weird. He's just being strange. So that's the that's the game week. So yeah, my team. I've done a change. I've told you I've done a change.
Just remind the audience again quickly.
Well, it's on screen. Mateta. That's my team for next game week 4. No wildcard, no free hit, no points deduction. Sanchez, Cash, Van der Ven, Rodon, Reinders, Wirtz, Gakpo, Salah, captain, Haaland, Pedro, Mateta. And there we have it. You make any changes to your team, or we're going to talk about that probably in the preview?
No, my team is as it is.
Cool. Sounds good. No more hits. Right, on that note, I'm going to have my dinner now because it's dinner time. And then I'm going to get ready for bed because I've got to be up early in the morning for work. But thank you ever so much for people that have tuned in. Thank you so much for the support, for the likes, for the subscribes. And I'll see you on the next stream. Keep an eye on our social media. Probably be looking at next Thursday, Stevo?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Probably
Something
next
like
Thursday, but it'll be scheduled ahead of time. You take it easy, guys. All the best.
Bye.